Music has been a mainstay in my life. Fascinated with the sounds and understanding genres and rhythms from my dad mixing music. Singing and dancing to songs with my family. So, when I learned about vinyls, I was immediately intrigued. Physical media that can be played with beautiful setups and more pretty things to look at. Sure, there are CDs, but vinyls hold a special place in my heart. Valuable in sounds, art, and preserving physical media the coolest way possible. I had started my vinyl collection 5 years ago, and it just kept growing to get all the ones I wanted. And I did. My collection to me has grown enough to where I am satisfied where it is at. I have a simple record player setup and I don't have a large shelf, but as for the vinyls, that is the music I listen to. Eventually, I'll upgrade the setup, but for now, I want to show off the vinyls. My favorite album, and it has the ugliest 30th anniversary cover. To be honest, Blur has a history of ugly covers. It is also Damon's and Graham's least favorite Blur album, so they probably didn't have input. The cover was designed by Tony Hung, who did the Magic Whip artwork, and then there was backlash about the Great Escape cover being AI generated, but nothing changed. We can't even confirm it was just designed ugly or AI generated because Tony has no online presence. But man, I hate this cover either way. I'm using the slip to cover the ugliness. It is disappointing, but it is my favorite Blur album, and it included the B-side songs, and the vinyl was cheaper than a standard edition import. The inside is nice with the credits, and the B-side cover actually has a cool design that is based on the board game aesthetic from the country house music video. The color of the vinyls are great, a blue and a yellow, with a neat detail which side is which, over and here. My favorite songs are He Thought of Cars, Best Days, and Tame. The other favorite of Blur's discography of mine is 13. Graham's artwork is just deeply melancholic for an ethereal, depressive record. I believe it was really the last heights of Blur's sound, combining more electronic sounds with Graham's guitar work while also including the acoustic ambience in some tracks. I also like the fact that the vinyl includes the hidden tracks at the end of each song. The insides don't include much besides the art background, and it is standard black color. I hope the 30th anniversary editions of Blur self-titled and 13 aren't ugly AI-generated covers. My favorite songs are Coffee and TV, Trim Trap, and No Distance Left to Run. I feel like Gorillaz self-titled is the only Gorillaz album that actually specifies that it is 2D, Murdoch, Noodle, and Russell making the music. The additional vocals by Damon Albarn, yeah right. Besides that, it is a good introduction to something new from Damon and in the new century. My one gripe with the album is that it ends with the Clint Eastwood remix, and the same goes for the vinyl. I don't like the remix at all, and M1A1 is a much more satisfying ending to the album. The inside is also a lot of artwork too, showing off the characters to the maximum. Standard black color, but the sleeves hold even more art with lyrics too. My favorite songs are Soundcheck, 192000, and Latin Simone. I was so happy to find G-Sides. It was with sheer luck that I found it in a Barnes & Noble. Being the B-side record to self-titled, the vinyl release is a much simpler piece of physical media. Also, not a lot of songs and very demo-like and mainly remixes, but it's still a good addition to the collection. Non-gatefold, but this sleeve is neat. More artwork of the characters and standard black vinyl. My favorite songs are Dracula, Ghost Train, and 12D3. The Blur album that is more of a Gorillaz album than a Blur album, but I still love it. I like Damon's sound and songwriting, but I will say, Blur isn't Blur without Graham's riffs. These are quirky experimental songs with a similar depressive moods like 13, say Good Song, Sweet Song, Batter in Your Leg. Besides that, Think Tank's vinyl release is neat with this aesthetic. The sleeves have lyric artwork made by Damon himself, which kinda looks similar to his previous work. My favorite songs are Out of Time, Good Song, and Sweet Song. Before you ask, this was a Christmas gift from my tia, and I am so grateful. This is easily the coolest thing in my collection, the Demon Days character size variant. Demon Days is a very special album to me. It is my favorite album of all time. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on the album, check out my analysis on it. I do wish I had the original gatefold cover, so it included the other artwork and credits, but man, this is just too cool. Also, screw the streaming services that completely eliminated the transitions between tracks. My favorite songs are Oh Green World, Feel Good Inc., and Every Planet We Reach Is Dead. This I also found at a Barnes & Noble. These sites was my first try gatefold vinyl, and at first I was skeptical about buying it. It was filled with a bunch of remixes I don't really bother listening to. But the main track list of the B-side songs are a joy to listen to. Not only that, but inside has so much sketches of the Demon Days artwork, very fun to look at. And the Dare remix is funny. My favorite songs are People, We Are Happy Landfill, and Bill Murray. Plastic Beach as an album is a soundtrack of heartbreak. It's got songs to switch to like in a romantic dramedy, adding something fun or to transition, but the album contains heartbroken love for the planet. It is my second favorite Gorillaz album, but I will dive deeper into it in my next Gorillaz analysis. As for the actual vinyl release, it takes a simpler approach to how it portrays the band. Well, also because the real Noodle was possibly dead, so she was replaced by a cyborg built by Murdoch, Russell was missing, and Sue and 2D was kidnapped and abused to record the new demos made by Murdoch. Besides that, Murdoch's songs are full of melancholy and a more electronic sound of the band. In the vinyl as well, there are individual pieces of artwork that aren't obstructed, and credits that just say written and performed by Gorillaz. I also like that the songs are actually placed neatly in its own little segments of the records. My favorite songs are Empire Ants, To Binge, and Pirate Jet. The Fall is a funny album to put on vinyl. A funny little demo album marketed as the next studio album by Gorillaz, when really it was Damon messing around on an iPad. To be fair, it was ahead of its time. With GarageBand not even being an app on the iPad and at the time of making of the album, Damon really used everything that the iPad was capable of to produce music. Basically making bedroom pop before bedroom pop was a thing and a popular genre trend in the late 2010s and currently in the 2020s. Everybody making music on their iPhone. The Fall was truly the first of its kind, and you can really tell. Besides that, it is a cozy electronic and sort of acoustic album detailing different US states during the Gorillaz North America tour. So, the outer sleeve is a melancholic art piece of 2D having his own collection of instruments, mirroring Damon. The inner sleeve is a collection of photos of the Gorillaz live band put together by Jamie. The liner notes also has credits of what iPad apps were used and where it was originally recorded during the tour. That's cool! My favorite songs are Revolving Doors, Hillbilly Man, and Aspen Forest. The Magic Whip was a return to form for Blur. Sort of. Sure, Graham Coxon returned to the band to perform live for a few years with no other plans, but a cancelled festival in Hong Kong changed that. The album was created out of jam sessions as the band had nothing to do in Hong Kong. Jam sessions that weren't meant to be an album, as the recordings were sat on as Damon did his solo tour of Everyday Robots. But I'm glad the guys motivated Damon to write lyrics for the songs. The Magic Whip to me is a cool Blur album. Just cool. It's a combination of their old Britpop sound, self-titled electronic, and a mixture of Damon's and Graham's 2010 sounds, that being Pre-Humans, and Graham's ever-evolving ideas. Now, I know it is not the 10th anniversary edition, but this release is still cool, before Tony made the ugliest cover ever. The inside is a cool display of the guys with the inner sleeves that has a map-like design of the tracklist and credits. My favorite songs are Go Out, Ice Cream Man, and My Terracotta Heart. Humans was the big return for Gorillaz. A lot of people hated it. The album is definitely something I want to dig deeper into with my Gorillaz analysis series, but for now, I just want to say I very much love Humans. It is my third favorite Gorillaz album. The collaborators were stacked and all delivered cool performances through the band's world of music, presented as party music. But I think they need to re-release the vinyl. I had bought one from a record store, but turned out to be warped, so I traded it with a different one. But it was also warped. So I returned it and traded it for another vinyl, which I'll get to later in the collection. And I got Humans at a different store. But the sound still comes crunchy, but not exactly warped. I still like the album. The inside follows the same thing as Plastic Beach with the character faces like the Demon Days vinyl. The inner sleeves also have two art pieces of the band featuring the tracklist and credits. There's also a weird title thing with We Got the Power, which is titled version 2. but there's not actually anything different. Quite odd. My favorite songs are Saturn's Bars, Charger, and She's My Caller. So you know how Damon recorded an album during a North American tour? Twice. So here's the third time. But instead of it being a demo album or an iPad demo album marketed as a studio album, it is actually an album that was produced off of the demos Damon had. It was also an album to respond to the criticism that humans didn't have enough 2D's vocals. Damon completely embodies 2D in terms of lyrics and vocals instead of just projecting his feelings into the characters. I definitely still like this album. I love Damon's melancholic sound, and this time with the Gorillaz sound. It is a smaller album, so the vinyl release is simpler. The sleeve has one art piece on it with a nice circle array of credits. My favorite songs are Trans, Fireflies, and SoCal. Song Machine is just cool. I think it was cool for it to roll out with music videos as episodes, but I haven't really latched onto the songs like I have with other Gorillaz albums. Still good music, just not as iconic, and that's not me saying that all songs need to be like a feel-good ink hit. To me, Song Machine is just an album where Gorillaz kept going, which they are. I just have the standard edition. I wish I can get the deluxe, but that's $250. With the standard edition, it is very simple, with the inner sleeve having a spread across artwork with a cool design for the track list. It's the Song Machine. Also, yes, I understand the full name is Song Machine Season 1 Strange Times, but for simplicity's sake and the fact there is no Season 2, this is just Song Machine to me. My favorite songs are Pac-Man, Chalk Tablet Towers, and Désolé. I originally did have the standard edition of Cracker Island, but then the deluxe came out and I traded it for that. The deluxe is definitely more of a welcome package. As for Cracker Island itself, people love to shit on this album, but truly to me, I still think it's a neat album. It's the same thing as Song Machine, whereas Gorillaz just kept going, but instead with an 80s synth pop sound, which is clean throughout. Now, with the deluxe vinyl, it is a gatefold featuring art pieces of the band on the run from the police, with the back teasing the next album. The inner sleeves also include the Last Cult logo. This is a very cool logo. My favorite songs are Cracker Island, Tarantula, and Skinny Ape. Alright, that is enough of the Gorillaz collection. Now on to my other favorite artist, Quadeca. From Me to You was the first album I was introduced to, and I fell in love with it. The album came out at a good time for me. It is music that definitely opened up my creative endeavors and also helped me mentally and reflect. With Ben constantly evolving, it was truly the beginning of the beginning. Let me tell you right now, this is the first edition of the vinyl, and I was one of the lucky few that got it. And I had to wait months for it. But besides that, this is cool to own. Unfortunately, it's not gatefold, it just has 2 inner sleeves, but the back has a little message from Quad himself with the 3 QR codes that we're teasing the next album. The inner sleeves aren't exactly interesting though, it is just the album colors and there isn't even a distinguishing detail which disc is which. Besides looking at the actual disc. The vinyl also includes the deluxe tracks, as well as exclusive demo-like songs, with most of the side D being instrumental interludes. It is still interesting to hear though. My favorite songs are Sisyphus, Can't You See, and It's All a Game. An incredible melancholic piece. It makes me sad in a good way. Dealing with tragedy after such tragedy has happened is very powerful to me. The music is also consistent within the track list. Good structures and melodies. The gatefold features more of the album artwork, and the inner sleeves are boring paper sleeves. But the vinyl also includes another side D that contains exclusive demo songs. It also includes dust cutter, so this vinyl is an automatic 100 out of 10. My favorite songs are Tell Me a Joke, Born Yesterday, and House Settling. Scrapyard is the equivalent of Kendrick dropping Untitled Unmastered. An album of scraps and leftovers, but it is amazing. Scrapyard is truly a collection of Quad's best production and a lot more fun songs while still having emotional depth. With this vinyl, I got the inverted color as the original sold out. And then Ben said, wow, okay, here's another variant. I think this variant is cooler. The inside features different artwork from the original Scrapyard packs, but combined, which is quite cool to look at. As for the inner sleeves, it's paper again. Not only that, but no track lists, no credits. Which side is which? Then there is also side D. There is no side D. It's just artwork, which is cool and all, but I think something cooler than this art piece could have gone on the vinyl. And that's not to say put more music on it, I'm just saying there's not a whole lot to look at here. My favorite songs are Dust Cutter, What's It to Him, and Under My Skin. I love Vanisher the most from Quad. It feels like an album that For Me to You wanted to be, but has cleaner production throughout, and instead of a mountain, it is the ocean, chasing something that is impossible to pursue. I have already reviewed and analyzed the album in the past video, you can check that out. The vinyl is the VIP vinyl from the tour featuring a signature. Got a little messed up because I was at the barricade in the pit. Make your own answer from there. Another gatefold expanding the main cover artwork, again paper sleeves, but with gray and yellow colors for the records. This also features one of the exclusive sets of demo songs, as the other variants have other sets. I'm satisfied with this set though. This vinyl also has slightly different masters for a few songs, like for That's Why and Thunder, cutting out their outros. My favorite songs are Waging War, Thunder, and The Great Bakunawa. Halfway there, and now we have the smaller sets in the collection. Next is Joji. Ballads 1 was an amazing start to Joji's new sound, far beyond Chloe Bourbon Glo-Fi. It is striking, emotional, and simply cool music. Some less than others, but I still enjoy the highs of the album. This is a single LP with the inner sleeve having this splatter paint type of art piece. My favorite songs are Attention, Slow Dancing, and Come Through. On the other side of Distortion is R&B and piano ballads. That is Nectar, with a large collection of songs that deliver from okay, that's cool to wow, that's amazing. It is also very cinematic in a way, what with the space plotline. My favorite album from Joji. Despite being a double LP, it is not gatefold, but has two inner sleeves with detailed credits of the tracklist. It also has a funny little George image. This is also the red vinyl that was gifted to me for Christmas. It is one of the only records that I have that requires 45 RPM, which is quite odd. I still don't fully grasp vinyl RPM. I think it's a master thing to put in the record, I don't know. My favorite songs are TikTok, Run, and Like You Do. Instead of doing more, Joji put out a more simple album of songs to put an end to the 88 Rising contract. Smithereens is a double album with an A-side of piano-like ballads and a B-side of Joji's experimental production, though only 2 of the 4 songs are produced and written by him. It was a weird release, but hey, it had the funniest tour ever.
Would you consider yourself to be a freakazoid, bro? You can get freaky Captain America? I would have to say, most definitely.
Smithereens is a less cohesive album in terms of the development, but I still enjoy the highs of it. For a single LP, for some reason, it's gatefold with pictures of the Glimpse of Us music video, but also coming with a booklet of the track lists and credits while containing more pictures. It has an inner sleeve of this text font containing a yellow record. If anything, I wish the actual album cover was more interesting than just this gradient. My favorite songs are Glimpse of Us, Die For You, and Night Rider. This one just feels right. To Pimp a Butterfly is not just Kendrick's best album, but one of the best albums of all time. The depth of its sound and lyrics are emotionally powerful, full of true rage, charm, love, and care. This gatefold opens up to a track list and credits with a neat design of fonts and pictures, but it has paper sleeves. My favorite songs are King Kunta, Alright, and The Blacker the Berry. Next to T-Pab, Mr. Morale is my favorite album from Kendrick. I know it's a double album, but I just see it as one album. I do recognize there are 2 sides to the album, but it contains themes that all connect to each other. Men's mental health, going to therapy, trauma, numbing to luxury, and more. All coming down to, I need to work on myself and not try to save others. as so many fans have relied on Kendrick to save them from turmoil in the world. Combined with out there beats, it becomes the sound of helping yourself. Despite being a double album, the vinyl is not a gatefold. It contains 2 inner sleeves, showing off the aesthetics of the 2 sides. Not too distinct, besides the colors. They also have their respective track lists and credits. My favorite songs are Die Hard, Father Time, and Mr. Morale. Alright, now we have the nerd vinyls. This one is 01 by The Living Tombstone, and is in fact my first ever vinyl that I purchased. At the time, I was really into the album. Well, still am. But I was interested in buying a physical copy, but they only had the vinyl. So I bought the vinyl without owning a record player. It was essentially a cool item at the time, and has obviously evolved into something more. As for 01 itself, it's a fun album. To me, it is Yov's best production, paired along with amazing lyrical themes from Sam Haft. Definitely introduced me to more sounds and words. Containing 1 inner sleeve, it has credits and the track list, along with a special thanks to everyone involved. Even Scott Cawthon, because FNAF propelled Yov's career unlike anything before. This is an orange vinyl, matching 01's color. Another thing though, it did arrive slightly messed up. I wouldn't say warped because the sound still comes out clean, but in the main title track, it jumps a second at the end of the bridge and kind of ruins the climax of the song, unfortunately. But no other issues. My favorite songs are Drunk, Animal, and Chosen. This one is a collection album from dagames containing all the related Bendy and the Ink Machine songs. Almost all of them. It came out before Are You Proud of Me Now, so not really a complete collection, but this is still cool to own. dagames is one of my favorite artists, and the Bendy songs are definitely a joy to listen to. It contains a paper sleeve, damn it, but the vinyl itself is a ink splatter color, which I think is the coolest of my collection. My favorite songs are Build Our Machine, Instruments of Cyanide, and Meet Thy Maker. Not nerdcore, but comes from an artist known for their nerdcore music. Nate Wants to Battle's Paid in Exposure. It was the album that introduced me to him, and I loved it a whole lot. Nate is a really good vocalist, and combined with some banging rock instrumentals, they are earworms. Nate's lyricism is also a big highlight. Generally a good writer with themes, metaphors, and flow. As for the vinyl, I very much like the aesthetic, but then it is a damn paper sleeve. But the record itself is this neat purple and pink splatter. My favorite songs are Smoking Guns, Phantom, and Bones. Next is Billie Eilish, and I'll admit, I was a hater. And then I turned. Well, I wouldn't say a super fan or just fan, just grew to appreciate her music. I like her music. Definitely takes pop in new directions sonically, and that started with her debut album. Well, mainly EP. I don't like Bad Guy though. I find it slow, honestly. But besides that, I like the rest of the album, as the rest of the songs do more interesting stuff. The gatefold opens up to a track list, credits, and lyrics. And not much else. The inner sleeves are just plain black. My favorite songs are Zanny, Wish You Were Gay, and Bury a Friend. Happier Than Ever was a new direction for Billie. More lush instrumentals compared to the bass/drum heavy beats of before. I like it better than Asleep though. Happier is beautiful throughout and delves deeper into Billie's thoughts. This is also the album that got me into Billie Eilish. It released at the time I was on vacation and I decided to give it a shot. And then I pre-ordered the Spotify variant of the vinyl, and that's what I have. There's a lot of focus of the art direction of the album cover, which is neat and all, but these cropped and zoomed in covers are a bit silly. I always do appreciate a track list with lyrics and credits though. Then there's the vinyl in the same color as the album cover. Very nice. My favorite songs are Billy Bossa Nova, Oxytocin, and Lost Cause. Hit Me Hard is odd for me. I like it enough to get the vinyl, but the album doesn't stick around long enough in my rotations. Still fantastic music, but it does feel more of what listeners expect out of Billie instead of something surprising. It was stripped back, and it is supposed to be a front-to-back listening experience. No singles. Music videos for certain songs still came out, so those are technically still singles. I don't know, I still like the music, I just think more could have been done here. Opening up the vinyl, we see more shots of Billie submerged in water. The inner sleeve this time has the track list with the credits and lyrics. My favorite songs are Chihiro, Wildflower, and The Diamond. Now I can't ignore Phineas. He has produced for Billie for all 3 albums and his own music going for him. For Crying Out Loud came out soon after Hit Me Hard, and I wish these songs had more time to shine. Such great pop music. The album is comprised of jam sessions edited down to 4 to 10 songs, and I find that so fun, just like how the Magic Whip was made. I love this photo for the cover, and also involving this abstracted design of shapes and lines. Very clean looking. The inner sleeve though is just a plain green and plain gold. Nothing much. My favorite songs are Cleats, Sweet Cherries, and For Crying Out Loud. Remember when I said I returned my warped copy of Humans for a different vinyl? Yeah, I got this. Call Me If You Get Lost is a good collection of music delving into the fun side of Tyler's music while also exploring mature thoughts. I like it a lot and what got me into Tyler the Creator. This vinyl is a tri-gatefold showing off the aesthetics of the album. It is paper sleeves though, but the records are a nice looking light blue. It also comes with this booklet that contains the track list with lyrics and credits. My favorite songs are Corso, Juggernaut, and Stuntman. Chromacopia is Tyler's best album to date, and my favorite album. Lush yet experimental beats with emotional depth, to dance or to think. I wish more was done with the album before Don't Tap the Glass quickly came out. Sure, there was the deluxe. It only included 1 additional track. I'm talking more like visuals. I would have wanted to learn more about St. Chroma. The sticky music video is trapped somewhere. But honestly, what Tyler delivered for the album is more than enough. The vinyl may have taken a while to come out, but arrived just in time for Christmas. I love this detail on the front of the mask being, well, a mask. Inside the gatefold includes pictures from the tour and another booklet of the tracklist, credits, and lyrics. Still paper sleeves, damn it. My favorite songs are Ratata, Mother, and Thought I Was Dead. Okay, kind of some one-offs now. Up next, a controversial album from 2019, The Fall of Hobo Johnson. Even more controversial when reviewers like Fantano were genuinely giving good scores. But opinion alert! I do like the album. It had a lot of clean production, especially for the quirkiest of beats. Then there's Frank delivering honesty and realism in his slam poetry lyrics. To me, that created a lot of emotional ties to the album for me. Wanting more, but learning to cut back. The vinyl kind of annoys me though. I love the flower aesthetic, but then we get to the inner sleeve and it's this nice photo of Frank. But the tracklist, credits, and lyrics are on here with a white font. You can't put white text on a brightly colored picture, it's not readable. Even worse, the back is a bright pink with a similar color for the font. The record is a nice white. My favorite songs are Typical Story, Moonlight, and Sorry My Dear. Next is Kali Uchis, which I kind of bought on the whim, or KDS. I think it's a cool album of Spanish pop, a cool collection of music. I also like the aesthetic of the album. The vinyl opens up as a gatefold for a single LP, but I guess to include this picture of Kali. The inner sleeve is more of the aesthetic, and the record is a clear opaque. My favorite songs are Como Así, Monaquita, and Dame Beso / Movete. Next is a soundtrack, which is from Tick Tick Boom. I got this vinyl soon after I watched the movie. Yes, I loved the movie. I was invested in the story, and the music was striking for me to amplify the story. This vinyl is a gatefold that opens up to more pictures from the movie. Still paper sleeves. My favorite songs are 3090, Therapy, and Come to Your Senses. Another soundtrack, but this time from a video game, Doom 2016. Doom is my favorite series of all time, modern at least. Adrenaline pumping and awesome music paired alongside it. Industrial metal that Mick Gordon takes to another level thanks to white noise. The album cover is iconic in general, both for the franchise and online culture. Not gatefold, but has 2 inner sleeves that are concept art of the areas from the game, with their backs containing the tracklist respectively. The records are also pure red, very fitting. My favorite songs are Rust, Duts and Guts, BFG Division, and Damnation. Then that's all the vinyls I own. But there's also this one I hold for sentimental value. Es Mi Viejo is an album by Los Guaguo, a Venezuelan music group from the 70s. This album specifically was released in 1974, translated to He Is My Old Man. As for the vinyl, it was my grandpa's. It's a bit beaten, and the inside is cardboard with no protective sleeves. I'm gonna fix that soon. So yeah, the record itself is scratched, but surprisingly plays fine last I played it. Well, I don't play it often. Again, it is a vinyl sentimental value. Even with the title track, it is a song about the narrator's father. My memory of my grandpa will remain with this vinyl.
Ves el suelo, huele a tierra, siento miedo, es miedo.
Thank you for watching. I'm happy to show off this collection of music, expressing my interest. All these vinyls are music I hold dear to me. Please do talk about your collections if you have one in the comments. My collection will slow down now until new albums come out or I find something new. I gotta work on the setup and maintaining these records. Leave a like and subscribe to check out more of my interests and my projects. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.